Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. Let's solve this question here which says allele is the option 1 alternate trait of gene pair, option 2 total number of genes for a trait, option 3 total number of chromosomes of a haploid set, option 4 total number of genes present on a chromosome. So let's understand the question. The question says allele is the. So what is an allele? That is the question. So before we actually talk about allele, we have to talk about gene. So what is a gene? We all know gene is a unit of inheritance. So what do you mean by unit of inheritance? So this is the unit which is responsible for the inheritance of the characteristics from the parents to the offspring. And where are these present? Of course, these are present on the chromosome. Yes, these are present on the chromosome. And in our body or in our cells, we have each type of chromosome in a pair. Okay, so we call this as homologous pair. So each type of chromosome we have in pairs. So we call them as homologous chromosome. And why are we calling them as homologous? Homo means similar. Okay, so they look alike and also they contain the same gene. So whatever genes are present at a particular locus, the same genes are present on the homologous chromosome or its pair. Okay. Okay. So you can say that each gene is present in a form of, in a pair, you can say. Each gene is present in a pair because we have homologous chromosome. Now this particular gene pair can be present in different forms. Okay. The gene pair can be present in different forms. Okay. It can be dominant form or a recessive form. Okay. For example, you have a gene for height. If you have a gene for height, so you know that there are homologous chromosomes, right? So they have here one gene for height and the same locus here another gene for height. Okay. Because they both are coding for the same characters, we just call them as different forms of the genes. So the gene which codes for height, it can be dominant, which can be represented as capital T, or it can be recessive. Okay, or you can just say that on both the homologous chromosome, the variants can be like same, both can be dominant or both can be homologous. So these forms of genes are called as alleles. Okay, what are these? Alleles. So what are alleles? They are nothing but different forms of a gene pair. Okay, so let us see. Option 1 says alternate trait of a gene pair. Absolutely right. Why alternate pair? As I told you, one can be dominant, the other can be recessive. Okay, and of what? Of a gene pair. So that is what is an allele, a pair of alleles, you can say. Okay, so that is the absolute answer. The second option says total number of genes for a trait. So if you say total number of genes, that means for each gene you have different variant alleles, right? So that will contain, like if you suppose for a trait you have 3 genes which are coding for one particular characteristic. Okay, you may have like 6 alleles because each gene will be present in 2 different forms. Okay, that is an example. You also have genes which are present in multiple allelic form. Okay, that's a different case. Okay, so basically alleles are different forms of the same gene pair. Okay, so option 2 will be incorrect because here we are considering the total number of genes. We are not talking about individual gene. Okay, so it is totally incorrect. Option 3 says total number of chromosomes of a haploid set. So here we are considering the entire set of the chromosome, haploid set, which we denote as N. So you have many number of genes on each chromosome. Hence, you will have many number of alleles on each chromosome. So we cannot consider the total number of chromosomes here because that is a higher level of organization. Option 4 says total number of genes present on a chromosome. So again, on each chromosome, you have many number of genes, right? And alleles, they are the different forms of the same gene pair. But here they are talking about the total number of genes which are present on chromosome. So that cannot be considered as allele because each gene has its own allele, right? Hence it is ruled out. So the correct option is option 1, that is allele is nothing but the alternate trait of a gene pair. I hope you understood. So let us conclude. The answer is option 1. Thank you, everyone.